We are back. This is the Level Up Social Club networking events. Thanks for checking us out on YouTube. Today we are at the Metropolitan. That's right, the Willis Tower on the 67th floor. I am tremendously excited to be here because we have a lineup of amazing sponsors and guests that are going to come on and talk about their brand. Hopefully they're going to inspire you a little bit. I'm sure they're going to inform you. And maybe they're just going to influence you to take a look at their business. Once again, I'm here with the one and only Allison, and she is the owner, right? The owner,
That's correct.
CEO, the top of the food chain of Blue Shore Human Resources. We're talking about fractional HR.
Correct.
And if I recall the last time we talked, it's also fractional
Bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping, let's go. Which small business owner wants to do their own bookkeeping? I will tell you this right now, as a small business owner, absolutely not. So we're probably going to have a conversation because I need help.
I got you.
All right, so give us a little bit of a rundown. Since we saw you last time, which is about 6 months ago,
Yeah.
what has been happening?
We've been growing, so we are now.
Not shocked.
Thank you. We are now in all states except California.
You said you were going to do that.
I know, and we are also expanding to no longer capping at 50 people in your team. Now we cap at 175, so we're able to service businesses that are a lot larger.
So you just opened up your market completely.
Yes.
So what does that mean for bandwidth for your team? I mean, because a company with 175 employees versus a company with 20 employees, that's a different level of pressure.
Definitely. So traditionally, the companies that we're servicing that are over 50 people have someone in-house that's helping them. And what we're doing is coming in and filling the gaps with a little bit more high-level HR support.
Love that.
Yeah, terminations, more of the investigation, stressful topics that are not as easy for in-house to handle.
Okay, so HR departments do not be threatened, right? This is a bolt-on to help you, to free you up to do maybe the parts that you love to do in HR, and you can hand over the things that maybe you don't love to do, and you can feel confident that they're probably going to be done better because people always do things better when they love to do them.
That's very true. Yeah, and we have a team behind us, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you can take your HR department that is 2 employees, and essentially you'll turn it into an HR department with
30.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So what would you say is the most difficult part of your field right now? Has anything changed? Is AI throwing a wrench into what you're doing, or is it helping you to be more effective?
I think AI is helping us be more effective if it's used properly.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, we're seeing issues where employees or companies just in general are just dumping a lot of private data into AI. So we're seeing a lot of security issues, especially privacy issues with employee data and personal information. So that's kind of the risk I see with AI right now. But I do see it's very beneficial. And automation just in general is really important with HR. There's a lot of things like payroll and things like that can be automated that save us a lot of time. So we're able to focus more on the human aspect. I don't think AI is coming in to take over HR anytime soon.
No.
Because it's hugely a people component.
Do you think HR is coming in to take over anything, or is it coming in to help people take advantage and to be more creative and to be more effective? I think a lot of people, including myself, initially when this started to come on, started to think, well, how is this, wait a minute, what's going to happen when half the population doesn't have a job? Well, then you start to see that what ends up happening is it allows companies to grow faster, which actually creates more employment, more revenue, more opportunity, more awareness. So what are you seeing as it relates to that?
I think it's definitely changing the workforce. I don't think that HR is coming in to take over anything major. With AI changing, I think that we're even more... There's a higher need for being people-focused.
Yeah.
So people are not feeling just, like their job's going to be, thrown out. Even though things are going to change, and I think that you're never going to grow if you don't open yourself up to, training your replacement. And your replacement might be AI, but that means that you can move into a larger role and take on higher responsibilities. I think that's how HR can, help in that faith.
Once again, we're here with Allison, Blue Shore Human Resources. And you are once again a sponsor.
Yes.
And it's apparent to me because if I recall, you're in New York. You're kind of bouncing between New York and Chicago, and you never seem to miss this. So I'm curious, why level up? Why do you continue to sponsor? Why is it important to you? And what type of opportunities have you gained in friendships, networking, partnering, whatever? What type of opportunities have come from it?
Yeah. So as a small business owner, we were built on networking. I started when we had just a few $1,000s in the bank and some printed out business cards and a little too much confidence. And I showed up at a networking event actually in Brooklyn, New York 4 years ago. And that's where we closed our first client.
Good for you.
And, it was in the fintech space. And from there, he referred me to his college roommate who had his own startup as well. So networking has been a massive part of our business. We would not be where we are today without it, not just for clients, but partnerships and people that I trust that I can refer over to my own clients, and just build a community, honestly. So we continue to go to Level Up and make it a priority along with other networking events, but Level Up being my favorite in Chicago. And I would just say that, we would not be where we are, and go out there and build your community.
Yeah. So as a CEO, have you had to learn how to sell, or did you know how to sell and then you became a CEO?
I learned how to sell and then I became a CEO.
Okay, all right. That's
Yeah.
a little bit better of a path, but a lot of CEOs are technical experts and then they have to learn how to sell. It's terribly uncomfortable. So it's good that you had that. That's probably why you're scaling so fast. So when you would make a recommendation to your team that is out there, what would you say is the key to networking? What's the key to getting doors open? What's the key to getting away from transactions and moving into partnerships?
I would say that for me personally, when I was building our first, first year book of business, it was not worth my time to go after just one-off clients. We would spend so much time in the sales process. And so I found that building rapport with companies that already have the same book of business, and that's a longer cycle, of course, that's not like overnight.
Sure.
But building rapport with businesses that you trust and that you work with and you can refer to and you can do business with, they'll be able to open up their book and share with you. So one of our most trusted partnerships has been in the works for 3 years, and it's just starting to actually
blossom.
bring us a lot of business. So I would say that go out to networking events with the idea of building partnerships. That doesn't mean closing a deal. That doesn't mean looking hungry and anxious to, find a client. That means looking to build partnerships and bring business to them and do something for someone else, and that opens the door completely.
Two things. Number one, lead with giving. But the other thing that I've learned recently is if you don't set expectations, you're rarely disappointed. You're almost always pleasantly surprised. So minimize your expectations and don't have an end game where you're trying to move somebody into a pipeline or through a sales cycle. Go out and make as many friends as you possibly can, because maybe they're a buyer, maybe they're just an advocate, maybe they're a fan, maybe they evangelize for you, maybe they've got a Rolodex that's absolutely amazing and they've got 12 friends that need to talk to you.
Or maybe they open their own business.
There you go. And you never know.
Many opportunities,
so you really have to show yourself as a personal brand representing the greater brand.
Very true.
Now, let's go back to this. Core values.
Core
Right.
values for human resources.
Core values for your organization, and how many companies do you interact with that maybe don't take them serious, don't have them defined, and maybe they struggle with retention or turnover because there isn't a clear vision, there isn't a clear culture?
Yeah. Well, most of our clients we build them a handbook, cover the policies, make sure they're taken care of. And in the very beginning of your handbook, you need to make sure you have your core values established. Ours are empathy, respect, and professionalism.
Love that.
So understanding that we deal with difficult conversations, but we approach them with empathy. We respect everyone, no matter what their situation is and how challenging their background is, or, making sure that we're always embodying professionalism in every conversation, because we're given such trusted connections, especially with client employees. I would say that when you first start your business, yes, you need to have a proof of concept. Yes, you need to make sure there's revenue, but understanding what your actual overarching goal is and building those, core values is going to be so beneficial.
Are you referring to your why?
Yes, I am referring to your
I
why.
love that. It's so important. I mean,
Yep.
Simon Sinek said it, and it's been said over and over and over again, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's a stereotype. Okay, well, sometimes stereotypes are stereotypes because they're
For
true.
a reason.
They're for a
Yeah.
reason. And one of those things is start with why. You have a much better chance of retaining employees and accumulating beautiful partnerships. Speaking of employees, you have 30 employees right now. Give us your most inspired, most gracious moment with your staff, maybe something that absolutely moved you, maybe somebody that just needed a chance and you took a chance, you bet on them, and now they've absolutely proved you right.
Oh boy, I would say my assistant actually.
Let's
So
go.
our office manager slash assistant, she came in looking for an HR role. Her background was in HR, and we were hiring. She wasn't the right fit for that HR role just due to her, experience and length of experience. But I reached out to her and I was like, we need an office manager and we need an executive assistant to support the businesses. And she jumped in. She was like, I can do it. I can do it. And she has changed the trajectory of our company. When I talk to people, they're like, oh yeah, Natalia, they know her name.
Yeah.
So she is such a positive person. She has a fantastic attitude and has really just drastically changed our growth.
How has that freed you up?
Oh, miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not measurable. I would not be where I am today without her. So
Cool.
get somebody you trust that understands the brand vision and where you're going and can emulate that voice in conversations and really build partnerships with you, because they will be known. That is who they are. They're part of the brand. So I think it's very important.
I'm blessed to have a chance to interact with people like you. I'm blessed to have a chance to hop on the mic and interact with CEOs. I hear some commonality in CEOs. I hear a lot of taglines, mottos, pillars they live by, phrases that they repeat over and over and over again, and it just kind of goes with them. I had a chance to interact with two CEOs. One of their taglines is "Play life differently," which I kind of take as like, if everyone else is zigging, you should zag, right? And then the other CEO had a tagline that the journey is the destination, right? Which I just thought was absolutely outstanding. So I'm curious, do you have a phrase, a tagline, pillars that you live by that your employees, if they heard you right now, they go, oh my gosh, that's so Allison?
Oh boy. I don't say this one directly to my employees because it's what motivates me, and obviously what motivates me is different than them. What motivates me is no one's coming to save you.
Woo.
So it's a little dark.
Woo!
I hear that.
Let's go.
But
I just got the chills.
At the end of the day, it's true.
100%.
No one's coming to, I hate to quote Mel Robbins here, but no one's coming to get you off the couch and start the business and get the job. And so it has really motivated me that, it's you. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And I reframe that with my staff as, oh boy, now I'm quoting Jocko Willink, extreme ownership. You need to take responsibility and own your work, own your relationships, and make sure that at the end of the day, you close the door on the workday proud of what you've done and what you've built.
So, Allison, I used to think that motivation was the thing. I was always looking for the next thing to motivate me, and I realized that was fleeting. And what I recognize, to your point, is that discipline is far more important than motivation. And so, if you have to wait for motivation to go do that thing, that motivation may never come. But if you have discipline, discipline, you're doing it anyways. Mm-hmm. And that's how you decide to do hard things. But now being a new business owner myself, you've been at it for longer than I have. But I just asked another guest recently, why do we take so long to bet on ourselves? What do you think that is? Or does everything happen in the exact way it's supposed to?
I think everything happens when it's supposed to, but I think you are in control of your life. Mm-hmm. So taking that back and taking charge of that, I think that we all have those internal thoughts of like, we're going to fail, or, we're not good enough, or look at all these people that were so much more successful. And, it's the comparison game. So I think that, stepping aside from all of those negative thoughts and just remembering that comparison's a killer. Just get out there.
Yeah.
Failure, I said this on the last time we were talking, failure is part of the job. You are
failure
going to
is an option.
Yeah, and if you fail, that's okay. Get back up. And when you start, you should know, I'm going to fail at some point, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's great. I've learned far more by failing, and God knows I should be a genius by now because I've learned a lot. But I learned far more from failure than I do from winning, because winning, you get your flowers and you take a victory lap, and you kind of, you don't really think about it. Whereas losing, you kind of ponder and you dig in, you analyze, and you go, oh, that's the part I missed. And then that becomes another key that you implement into your discipline, your habits. We are here once again at the Level Up Social Club networking events. We are here at the Metropolitan, which is inside of the Willis Tower, the 67th floor. It is packing up. You're probably hearing the background noise. We're expecting about 200 people here. If you don't come out to these on a monthly basis, I'm not certain, especially if you are in Chicago. If you're in the greater Chicagoland area, I could understand. It's a little bit of a hike, but you should still come. But if you are in Chicago and you're not coming to these monthly, you're certainly missing out on great opportunities. And one of those great opportunities would be to partner with Allison. And how do they do that? How do they find you other than subscribing to the YouTube channel and seeing your face over and over and over again as a sponsor on this wonderful podcast?
Of course, reach out to me on LinkedIn. We are always on LinkedIn, always active on there.
She is responsive too, by the way. If you say hi, she will. But do not send her a 7-paragraph AI DM. Don't do it.
We've
Stop
gotten a lot of those.
Stop it. Stop flooding the inbox with your AI bots. Nobody wants it. Take the time to actually be a freaking human. You're gonna have a robot make introductions for you, for gosh sakes? What are you gonna have an AI ask your potential wife to marry you? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Be a human. Sales is about a transfer of energy. It's about humans. We can use AI for all the other stuff, to fill in the gaps, to make things faster, but that part really bothers me. Like, take a minute to look at Allison's profile. Find commonality and send a message that is gracious. Maybe support her content, like and comment. Follow her company page. Help them get their reach out there. Support the comment and comment so that you move her up the algorithm. And by the way, at that point, she will notice that you are paying attention.
I will know who you are, and I will talk to you.
There you go. All right, once again, Allison, you absolutely crush it. I always love speaking with you, and thank you so much for sponsoring.
Of course.
If you're looking for fractional HR and if you're looking for fractional bookkeeping, if you're anywhere in the United States, except for California, but that is coming soon. I would imagine it's coming soon. Anywhere in the United States, simply by reaching out, you have nothing to lose and the potential of everything to gain. There is nothing wrong with investigating. It doesn't mean you're offending your current partner. It doesn't mean that you're offending the people in your office. You have every right to see if there's a better option. And I have a feeling if you reach out to Allison, you will recognize that Blue Shore Human Resources is the better option. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. I told you we'd be back with another guest, and I am here with the one and only Spike Engelman. He is one of the co-founders of the Level Up Social Club networking events, and my goodness, he's also got a new gig with Society Benefits. What is happening?
A lot's been happening, John.
My gosh, you've been busy, brother.
Yeah, you tell me, man, but it's exciting stuff. So a little over 6 months ago, starts Society Benefits. So we're up and rolling, and we got some clients now that we're rocking with, and the cool thing is, I mean, like any new venture, you know, you get that foundation down and you're ready to just hit the ground running. We're there at this point, man. So it's all nothing but 110 miles an hour.
All right, so where are you putting the majority of your time? Because obviously this is something that's a new venture. It's a bolt-on to a company that has been around for 100-something years. But this is a bolt-on. It's kind of like diversification through addition, right? And you're managing partner of that division. So give us a little bit of an idea of what, not only what you specialize in, but also like what are you mostly focused on at this moment right now?
Yeah, so ultimately how we got the name Society Benefits, so ended up partnering with a group called Society LLC. The primary focus is on accounting, tax, audit, anything that basically touches like the CPA world. So I already had a great relationship with the firm, had been working with them for the last 5 years, and ultimately came to the idea of, hey guys, we're already doing this together, why not add another division and create a sister company, which ultimately started with Society Benefits. So what I primarily role is doing is working with small to mid-sized clients with their healthcare plan. So anything that's group, that's medical, dental, vision, you know, disability, life, all that fun, expensive stuff that everyone has to pay for, but it's a much-needed product.
So there's a ton of competition in that, let's be honest. So, like, why in the world would somebody switch over to you? What's the benefits of your benefits? Like, what's the brand promise, the brand identity? What is your differentiator? What stands out other than the fact that they would have a chance to interact and work with you?
Yeah, so there's a couple different things, but I think the main thing that gets lost in the benefits world now is it's a lot of fingers crossed, let's hope our renewal isn't too bad.
Yeah.
So for us, what we're going to do is I'm going to look at it 5 years down the road. Where do we want to be? What's the light at the end of the tunnel? And then back into it. So there's not many groups out there that are creating a true strategy with their benefits plan. It's just, all right, here comes another increase. But there's a lot of things that you can do just to like read the data of like the certain group that they have, to make strategic decisions, to make sure that your renewals aren't just double digits year over year.
Yeah.
So that's part one.
Yeah.
Part two is obviously getting a little bit of this level up piece, right? So it's all about helping grow the business too, right? Where insurance, there's a jillion agents out there, and everyone's going to come in and try and help reduce your costs and your expenses. But at the end of the day, who's also going to help you try and grow your revenue? So who's going to introduce you to that next client, their network, maybe their next employee? So at the end of the day, what Society Benefits and myself is about is we're going to help you try and grow the business while still trying to take care of some of those risks that you have to deal with the or the expenses, I should say, with the healthcare plan.
So now, knowing you for 3-4 years, having a chance to interact with you and to collaborate on this Level Up networking events that is absolutely growing, it's phenomenal. As mentioned, we're at the Metropolitan right now in the Willis Tower. You can't say what the other name is; they'll be mad at you.
Yep.
So I have always known, based on you running a networking event, that networking is very important to you. And one of the kind of the mottos here is be a giver, right? So give first. Don't just go up and tell people what you do. Ask people what they do, and ask how you could be of benefit, how you could introduce somebody within your network. So you're taking that philosophy essentially to a business that is quite honestly quite cutthroat, and it's a lot of outbound. It's a lot of it starts off transactional, and then you kind of work your way into a partnership. You're kind of flipping the script on that. You're going for how can I help you grow? So you're opening up your Rolodex to introduce people within your Rolodex that could benefit your potential client, with the hopes that it turns into an opportunity to partner, of course.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? We're all trying to make sure we grow our businesses together, we win. I'd like to think of myself first, like you just mentioned, as a giver first, that's also still going to help you with your health insurance, right?
Yeah.
Health insurance is a commodity, but it doesn't have to be, as long as you do it the right way. So
I love that. Okay, so let's just get into it here a little bit. You're having fun. What's been the most fun about doing this?
I think the most fun has been truly betting on myself, right? So I've been in the corporate world up until this point, with the exception of Level Up, right? But truly taking the reins and making those strategic decisions of, hey, how can I not only just help myself and my business grow, but helping these clients that are putting their trust within me? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? Is you want to make sure you have someone you trust and you like, and that strategic standpoint of doing it from all sides of the angle, it's really fun for me.
Why do people take so damn long to bite on themselves, including the two of us? And is the other side of that answer that maybe that's how it was meant to be? It was supposed to be that way, but isn't there a little bit of a feeling that you have right now where you think to yourself, like, why didn't I do this 2 years ago? Why didn't I bet on myself before? Why was I going and reporting to somebody that maybe I feel like I was more talented than? Like, do those things cross your mind?
Oh, without a doubt. I actually just had this conversation with my dad when I was visiting him down in Florida, and I told him, I was like, I wish I would have bet on myself sooner, but that's all retrospect. And at the end of the day, if you're going to bet on somebody, why not be yourself, right?
Yeah.
Why put your faith in someone else's hands? And it takes a lot to take that leap of faith, but once you do and you get to that point, I mean, there's no other better gratification of having that and seeing it start to work out and get that momentum going, that snowball. So to your point, it took us a little while to kind of make that leap, and look at us now. I mean, it's exciting to have these conversations. And the other cool thing is, when you're betting on yourself and it does work out, there's no better win than having that, man.
So you're having a chance to work with clients. Are we building a team as well? Is the goal to scale?
Yeah.
Obviously, that sounds like a loaded question. It sounds like a crazy question, but it's really not, because sometimes you really got to get the foundation of the operations set up and how you're going to deliver the product to the client. But it sounds like you're beyond that, and now you're really focused on scalability.
Correct. So it as of right now, I technically already have a 50 employee team behind me with the accounting firm, right? So they help me with all the things when it comes to the financials, the bookkeeping, just getting the word of mouth, like their network, right? So joining that team right there is already great. And then from like a health insurance standpoint, already actively looking to get ready to start hiring for new clients, because this is taken off by storm, man. So there's a lot of cool things that are happening with it, and sooner than later, we'll be hiring other more sales reps for that.
Here's what I love that you did. As a natural born salesperson who's been in sales his whole life, one of the things you run into is the objection of, well, we already have that or we don't need that, right? And by diversification, by adding these additional services, you just essentially opened up a whole new market for your 50-person sales team. So when they get that objection for this, they now can go, okay, well, maybe we're not ready for this, but maybe we could start you here. Or, hey, maybe it's all of them, or, bits and pieces or whatever. So you just completely open that up. So how have the 50 reps embraced this? Essentially, you just gave them a gift.
Right. So it's been really cool, right? I mean, in the first part of it, obviously everyone was a little apprehensive. It's like, who's the new guy on the block that's walking through the office that's a little bit louder than the rest of
partner,
us?
what the? He doesn't even know where the bathroom is.
Yeah, right. Being a little bit louder than your typical accountant CPA, having that boisterous sales personality. I was the new guy on the block, so a little apprehensive at first, but now that they're starting to get to know me and they like me and trust me, you hit it on the head. So, a lot of them have started coming to events like this that they've never came to before. They're asking different questions of, hey, how can I make introductions? How can I grow my own book of business? Not even just from, the accounting standpoint, but helping from, a business development type of rep. So, it's been cool because my whole life I've been around, or my whole corporate life I've been around sales reps. I've been in the room where,
me too, man.
It's nothing but loud
ground
people.
and pound, baby.
So, going into an atmosphere like that where I'm automatically
like you were in the library.
Yeah.
Where's the Dewey Decimal System? Can't wake up in here.
Right. So it's fun though, man. When we'll do different sales meetings and different types of information I'm giving out, I'm the one that's playing the loudspeaker and then getting the juices flowing.
Yeah.
So it's been good because they've helped tame me down a little bit, I think.
Screw that. Don't tame down. Go full bore, man. It's the time. You got to be assertive. You got to be aggressive. And by the way, I'm going to talk to your team right now, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You need to get on social media and create a personal brand. You need to get on the microphone like your leader right here is showing you how to do. You need to create content. You need to push content out. And by the way, the money is in the comments. You need to comment on as many profiles and as much content as you can to your ICP. Give, and then at some point they'll go, my gosh, how gracious are you? You keep commenting and liking on all my posts. Who are you, by the way? And at that point, they just gave you permission to introduce yourself. And that's probably the hardest thing in sales right now is to get that first introduction because the wall is up. And we don't know what's AI. We don't know what these bot calls are. I get these DMs that are 7 paragraphs long. I'm not reading that. By the way, I'm not reading your AI DM.
Yep.
And then a week later, you send me another goofy one. And then a week later, you send me another goofy one. If I haven't responded on the first one, it's because I know you sent AI. And if you don't have time to actually write me a DM, I'm not responding. Does that sound about right?
That's 100% accurate. And I'm so glad that you said that because I'm going to take that exact clip and show in the office once we get these back.
You got to roll, baby. I mean, that's what it is. Here's the deal. It used to be the majority of the work that you were doing was going to be trying to get in front of people. Then it was, how do we work this phone? How do we get the cadence up? Then marketing department said, ooh, there's this new thing we could do, blast emails. And then it was like, well, let's do a mix of that, mix in networking events. I got to tell you right now, there's a lot of reports out there that people want the buying experience to be humanless. Well, that doesn't really bode well for a lot of us. So what that tells me is that people want to shop and they want to watch you for an extended period of time, which means that the close should be easier if you got really good content out there and you're telling the story over and over again.
Yep. You've said this in a couple different podcasts that I've heard at this point, but people buy you first before they actually buy the product or whatever it is that you're selling. So it is so spot on. Right? You have to be out there visible. You have to be that person that, if you're scrolling through LinkedIn at night or Instagram, then, there's that John Morris guy or that spiking woman that's popped up. And then now that I am ready, all right, let me reach out to this person because I'm familiar with them already. It's somebody that's maybe not my direct in that work, but somebody that I've at least seen and have that familiarity with.
So you're about to launch a podcast, which is pretty awesome. And one of the things that is really important here, and this is key, is that people buy from people, but they buy from people they know, like, and trust. Yep. So what you're doing through your content creation, through the networking event, and through the podcast is you're going to take care of the know and the like. And if you can get enough people to watch some of these things in the content clips, and you get people coming on, and then their people are going to watch those content clips, you kind of take care of the know and the like. At that point, once you get the first meeting, they might say, hey, I feel like I know you. That trust is already kind of established. So then it's just you got to be authentic and vulnerable. Is that the theory that you were going in with? And do you see yourself turning this into kind of a KPI or a training mechanism that you're going to distribute the content to your sales team and say, hey, distribute this out to the marketplace?
100%. And you hit it on the head right there where, getting out there, having that familiarity, right, where, having those clips I can already send to people, and also just using it as like a prospecting tool, right, where I'm going to be having different CEOs come on. We'll be at fun, interesting, different places. Like, myself
Where
and
are
you,
we going?
We're going to be getting facials here. We're
Holy
gonna be,
cow.
yeah.
By the way, I feel bad for whoever's giving me a facial, man.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing Spike on the Mic is what we're going to call it here. So we'll go to fun different locations, get out of the office setting and make it a little bit more unique. Still get to know them on a professional side, but personal too. And then from there, we're, like I said, me and you are going to do facials.
I'm going to be beautiful,
We're
Spike.
going to get glammed up, baby.
Oh, man, I get to do a podcast, and then I'm going to be all shiny and new at the same time. This is a beautiful thing. I had to say yes.
Right. So it'll be fun, man. And we're going to go take some different people out there. And the other thing, too, is people want to get out, and they want to do things that are different, right? They want to tell their story, obviously, everything that you're doing, and getting those brand messages out there. But they want to do it in a fun way. They want to do it to where it's not, I've been hit over the head multiple different times with the same avenue left and right. So getting people out of their comfort zone, having some fun, going to some cool locations, and
entertain to
fun.
inform. Entertain to inform. I love it. And I guess to wrap it up, if you could give your best 30-second to 1 minute
Sure.
as to why folks should reach out to you immediately, how do they do that? And what's the point of entry? Where would you get somebody started? How do you bring people into the fold?
Yeah. So why some people should reach out is the sense that even if you're in a great spot, it doesn't hurt to benchmark. And I will tell you straight up if you are in a good spot. So at the end of the day, people want to work with someone that sees the long-term vision, that knows what's going on within their business, and can guide them through some of the ways that maybe they're not the most knowledgeable about. If you're in a good spot, I'll tell you, I'm not going to be that sales guy that's going to go on and be like, I want your business just to take
No
it.
transactions, partnerships.
Exactly. I like to tell people, I'm selling you for the next 10 years, not the next 10 minutes, right? I'm trying to create a partnership, a longevity to where, at the end of the day, it's a slow burn. You have to be able to trust me with something that's so expensive, so emotional, that's impacts so many different people. And so if you're interested, Secetti Benefits is the name. My email address is engelman@secetti.com. That's ENGELMAN @secetti.com. And yeah, man, this has been fun. So I can't wait for you to be, next time I'm with you, you're going to be on my podcast.
Man, it's going to be great. Next week, we're going to be recording. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and only Spike Engelman. He is the co-founder of Level Up, and he is at Secetti Benefits, and you need benefits. You know that you do, and if you have any inclination whatsoever that you're not getting the best service, the best price, the best reaction time, the best efficiency, if you have any doubt whatsoever, it does not hurt to have a second pair of eyes, validate that you're in a good spot, or say, hey, you're not in the greatest spot. Here's 3 things you could do, and potentially if you want to partner, we can do that for you. That is Spike Engelman.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you, man.
All right, we are back, and I am here with an absolute legend. If you've driven through the Chicagoland area, you've probably seen his work. He is Zach Harber. He is the owner, right? CEO, owner?
Father, still owner.
Still owner? Soon to be owner.
EVP. I have a brother.
Okay. Yeah. Soon to be owner. I've already made the decision. The succession plan is being written as we speak. I've made a phone call. The tax attorney said he's a go. So that's what's happening. He is Harber Contracting. What is happening, my friend?
All is well. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me here today.
We always love
having
you.
It's been a couple years.
It's been a minute. We were outside on a patio.
Roof deck.
You were absolutely shining. I had my pink shirt on, man.
You're
we were
still shining.
Oh, I'm
You're
very
looking good.
shiny.
Yeah,
Very shiny. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. So
You're good, you're good.
I'm curious about this market right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this a good market for you right now? Is this a difficult market? How are you working through whatever market it is for you?
It's a building up market.
Okay.
Last 2 years were definitely slow in the construction industry, but that kind of happens every federal election year,
Interesting.
right? Because people want to see who's going to change in power. If not change in power, what different plans are going to put in motion, right? So we always joke about the guy with alligator arms. Like that always happens during federal election years, I'd say. So the construction market takes a dip, but I'd say we're on a path up.
Okay.
So that's good. I'd like to see some more cranes in the skyline.
I would too.
Right? So it's not the Chicago
Maybe a
we're used to.
stadium?
A stadium would be nice.
That would be nice. Are
Keep
you
our-
in on
keep-
that?
I would like to keep our team here.
Yeah.
I'd love to help any way I can.
I'm certain that you would be in on that. I'm certain you would be in that.
Hope so.
By the way,
Fingers
alligator
crossed.
arms are not good for decision makers or wide receivers.
That's right.
So let's get those arms extended and make some deals,
Or
okay?
hockey players.
Or hockey players, yeah.
That's right.
So the last time that we talked, you had kind of gone deep into, this is a family business.
Correct.
Third generation.
Correct.
Okay. And we talked about, like, there was a lot of pride in how this thing is built. But I had asked you the question of, if I came out to your office, what would I see? What would I feel? What's the culture? I'm curious, as somebody who's leading a team of people out in the field and in the office. You've
Absolutely.
got people on all different levels. You've got your blue-collar worker that's an absolute superhero doing the big-time hard work, and then you've got engineers that have to be and estimators and office people and salespeople. Like, how do you balance that as a leader?
Again, culture starts from the top down, right? And we're a family-run business, operated, and we treat our employees just the same way we treat family. Minus the holidays, because I can't stop talking about work even on the holidays, right? So I give the employees a break of that, but like they get the best benefits of being family members, so to speak, right? But culture for us is very important. We want the flexibility to everyone feel like an entrepreneur when they're working for us. Take ownership of what you're doing. But at the same time, we gotta get things done, and right, there's always pressure moments that we do.
I just asked Allison this as an owner of a business. You know, I've had a chance to interview a lot of C-suite executives and CEOs, founders, and I keep seeing this recurring thing where they have a tagline. They have a set of pillars, like, that they live by.
Yeah.
Where if you said it right now, one of your staff members, if they heard it, they go, "Oh, that's so Zach, man. He says that all the time." Like, what is that thing for you? Do you have, like, a set of pillars? Like, mine are mindset, behavior, technique. I feel like I can fit.
I like that.
And they go in order. Like, if my mindset's right, I have control of my behaviors. And if I have control of those two, there's a really strong chance that I could just absolutely rip and execute on my techniques, right? So what would that be for you?
Well, on a personal level, control what you can control.
I love that.
And let go of everything else, right? It's a little bit of stoves. But, when it comes to Harbor, we're kind of that get it done,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's the way my father kind of raised me up, too. You don't know how to swim? Let's go to the deep end, jump in, sink or swim.
And you swim to him and he keeps moving back.
Right. General George Patton had a great quote. When you want to ask someone something to do, you don't tell them or show them how it's done. You ask them how it's done and surprised by how they got there.
I love that.
Right? Because they're like, when you're in a family business, you feel like you have a passion more than everybody else. Mm-hmm. But when you let go of that, you realize these people care just as much, which is why we treat them like family, right? Because they are. We have 20-plus-year-old employees, multiple, right? And they are family to us. So you just got to let go and be like, I know they will get it done. This is what I'm asking, and here we go.
Okay, so you touched on culture, but I think you need to dig deeper on that, because that's not innate. That doesn't happen at every family business. You know, it's like the family and then the employees.
Yeah,
right? It's
for sure.
us versus them. And you see this a lot of time in organizations where it's management versus staff, right? And there's always friction. So if you've established a culture like that, like what are some of the things that your grandfather and your father and you and your brother have implemented to kind of bring people in and give them that freedom and give them that pathway, but at the same time to be able to create accountability because you got to deal with customers and make sure they're satisfied as well?
For sure. Well, in my upbringing, being a hockey player, right, the only way to win is a team, right? And the ones that win, like look at our USA team.
Ooh, they worked as a team, didn't they?
On paper, you'd be like, it's going to be a tough match for us to win this all.
Yeah.
But it goes to an old saying, what's a bigger number, 5 or 1? 1. When you bring 5 fingers into 1.
Ooh.
Right? Like, so when everything's cohesive, when everyone's beating at the same drum, that's when you are powerful.
That is so good. I did not know where you were going to go with that and then went to the fist. Let's go. That was beautiful.
Absolutely.
Okay, so are you a reader?
I am.
All right. So what books, give us 2 books that you've read recently that you just absolutely were, like you were moved by it, you started to implement some of the stuff. What should some of the viewers do to level up their game? What should they be reading?
Read different things, right? Like, I'll be real frank and honest. Like, it's hard sometimes to read business books because it becomes so, this is what you have
It's
to
like
do.
pragmatic and
It's
obviously you're
like,
being told you have to do this.
like I feel like I'm back in high school where like, I read the first paragraph, skip to the last paragraph.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, all right, here's, I get the whole gist. But I think reading's really important because it forces you to use your mind and create visions that aren't laid out in front of you and create your own path and use your creative side. And I think that's missing right now in this generation too, because everything's there. Like I got kids, like everything's the iPad, everything's visual, everything is like
You can get an answer like
we're
this.
We're losing the creativity aspect. So like I think what works best is like for me, like I love learning about history.
Oh, me too.
Because it repeats itself, in my opinion, right? So when you learn that, you go, and then like you dive into that character.
Yeah.
How would Julius Caesar deal with this, right? How would Marcus Aurelius do this?
He'd be
right?
disappointed. Right now, he'd be disappointed. He'd be disappointed. He'd be like, "What are you guys doing? Are you raising?"
And I'm
these
not
kids?"
saying like that's my guy. I'm just saying.
But he'd be like,
100%.
"What?" He'd be like, "What?
100%.
What
But it's
happened? You guys got soft on me."
But it's a different aspect, and read things that you don't necessarily like, and learn why you don't like those things too, or like people, right? I love reading a lot of history.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, you have a big staff. You've got people top to bottom. How do you make maybe the entry level, the entry level position in the company feel as important as the project manager, as your assistant, as the CFO? How do you do that?
Again, like going back to the family business, family style. We like to have lunches. We like to bring people in. We like to have happy hours, things like this, right? Like, let it down, let the hair down, be relaxed. Let's get to know each other. Let's get personable. Let's talk about families, things like this. I want to know that.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that about me, right? Like, and like, again, like, you got a problem with your kids one day and everything, like, that's fine, as long as you can meet your deadline, right? Like,
Yeah.
so we're not counting.
And just communicate it, right?
Correct. That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
Right?
Just
like,
give us a heads
we're
up.
all human. Yeah. We don't run a corporate show. We're not moving you through like a piece of sheep. You know what I mean? Like we're very flexible as long as you can communicate.
So you have become somewhat of a regular here at the Level Up events.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but you have been to quite a few in the past, right? And I know that you're close with David, and I know you guys love to play hockey. And there's a great little hockey circuit happening amongst a lot of business owners out here. Why here? Why do you come here? Why does that matter to you?
Well, first it started with Dave, and bias because of that friendship, support.
Sure.
But then when you actually see what it has become and what's going on, like I think this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? Like when the first few events I came, maybe there's only 30 people, 10, 20 people, so to speak. And now look at it. Like now we're getting, you guys are getting
100,
hundreds of people. Like this is crazy. And it's so fun to see this grow, and it's been organic, and like I love it. Like, and I love what it's doing. It's promoting, again, like it's so easy to do everything online now. Right? Dating, like all this kind of stuff.
I mean, it's crazy.
to switch it up, and I feel like this is kind of switching up. It's taking advantage of the internet, but now it's forcing the human interaction, which I absolutely love.
So there are some things that I think make sense to shortcut on, to find efficiencies on. But looking somebody in the eye and genuinely being kind and transferring your energy and being curious about what they stand for and what they believe in, like, you can't AI that.
No.
You can't do that online.
Looking in the eyes. So I have 2 rules for my kids.
Me too.
Right?
Love it.
And it's, when do you look someone in the eyes? When you're talking to them, or if you're going to fight them?
Yeah. Well, you better.
You better stare deep in those eyes.
And by the way, if they start to wink, it's coming.
And you stare both ways.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
same look.
Absolutely.
The same look.
That's
deep
critical.
in the soul.
I've had a couple times where I've seen my son shake the hand of another adult.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, do that again.
Right. Wet noodle.
Wet
No
noodle, or
thank you.
got the fingers, and I'm like, no, dude,
Fingers is the
get
worst.
in there, baby.
Yeah.
Get in there. And,
Right.
and those types of values, I think this is also the reason why it's so important that kids have a really strong female and male presence in their life, so that they understand the EQ part, which I think they get a lot of the emotional part from their moms. I think they get a lot, but I think there's a lot of powerful lessons that come from having a father in your life, and
100%.
it's so important right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know if that wasn't even a question. I think we were disagreeing there.
Yeah. This is what usually happens with us. We go on tangents.
Exactly.
And then we're like,
Just
wait a minute, where were we?
I agree with you on that. So here, final question, and I just want you to rip on this, because there are people that are watching this that would absolutely love to be in your shoes. They're aspiring to be there. They want to climb this. And knowing you and having conversations with you, just because you are the son of a father who took over a business from his father, you weren't handed this. You've worked your ass off as much as the rest of your family has. Like, it wasn't handed to you.
I almost didn't work for a business, right?
Yeah.
So I practiced. I went to school for architecture, practiced for 7 years with different companies. I had an offer to go international right after doing Nobu Hotel here in Chicago.
Nice.
And I went to my father being like, what do you think? Look at this offer. Like, this is crazy. I might be moving overseas. And that's when he kind of like gave me the ultimatum.
Yeah.
Like, it's either now or never to come work for me. And I figured, well, I can only fuck that up once.
You did the right thing. You did the right thing. So let's talk to that. Let's talk to that 25-year-old who wants to be in a seat like yours. Let's talk to that 35-year-old who's got imposter syndrome and is thinking, I'm not good enough to move up to that next role. Let's talk to those people out there that need to look in the mirror and realize that they have greatness inside of them. Give some words of inspiration, something that you tell yourself, that you tell your team, that maybe could inspire somebody out there to be their best self.
Don't listen to anyone except for yourself, right? Determination is key. And the more people doubt, I find you're on the right path, right? Because they're jealous,
Yeah.
right? And so they're going to try and knock you down and be like, I don't want that guy ahead of me, so to speak. So believe in yourself, believe in what drives you, what wakes you up, what keeps you up at night, all of it. That's what you should focus on.
Love that. Bet on yourself. And Zach, you made it such a great point, because people say all the time, I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
They ain't rooting for you.
Yeah.
They don't. They're rooting for you just to be a little bit
As
below
long as
them.
there's a curtain tail to pull
just
on,
be
right?
a little bit below me. Don't pass me. So look, if everyone else out in the world is trying to do their thing, and they're betting on themselves, and you think they're rooting for you, they're not. You have to be the one who's rooting for you. You've got to put the work in. You got to be determined, but you got to be nice to yourself. You got to give yourself grace. And that, my friends, is Zach Harbor. It's Harbor Contracting. Get with it. How do we find you? How do people find you?
Well, I got one more plug.
Please, let's go.
Yeah,
Plug it up.
Sit on the board for special children's charities.
What?
We
Shame
have
on
the
me.
Polar Plunge coming up this Sunday. If anyone can join us, please. There's still time, lots of time. Come in. It's great. I treat it as my baptism every year, so I wash away all my sins.
Amen,
Start
man.
over,
Yeah.
if you will. But
You freeze over. It's different.
So this will be, I think, my 6th year doing it in a row. So I'm excited. It's not that cold. Get over it. It's good for the body. It's great for the soul.
Brings up another question, though. Not every successful person gives back. Why is it important for you to give back like that? Why is it important for you to be a philanthropist and to help out?
Sometimes I just feel lucky, even if you work really hard, right? Like hard work is luck, in my opinion, right? Because you're determined, you're working hard. The thing is, Wayne Gretzky actually just said that. Luck is when opportunity meets hard work, right? That's the payoff.
Yeah.
That's what luck is. But for me, like, again, like, you don't know everyone's story, but if you can affect it in a little way, if you can keep them going and thinking and determined to keep doing what they want to do, like, again, that's all that matters, right? Like, and again, like, I coach hockey still, part of a couple of hockey charities as well. And what the game did to me and what it showed me in this world, that's why I love giving back, because I'm like, I don't know if I've ever had that experience and like, how different my experience is from everybody else from just playing this game.
Molded you.
Correct. So that's always been soft to my heart. Hockey actually kind of got me into philanthropy first because it was a requirement as us. Once I got to a certain level of hockey, right, that we went and we helped the community that came and paid come see us.
Yeah.
Right. So that being said, like I learned a lot in hockey, and like I'm just trying to carry that fabric with me where I go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Zach Harbor. And can people reach out to you on LinkedIn?
Absolutely.
All right, so send him a DM. And once again, I'm going to say it again. If you AI bot him a DM, shame on you. Send him a hello. Send him a, hey, I saw you on the Level Up podcast.
I'll know the difference.
Oh, amen. And we all know the difference. If it's 8 paragraphs, he doesn't have time to read that. Give him a one-liner like, hey, man, great job on the podcast. I'm sure he'll give you a thumbs up, and then at least you got a door open.
Or maybe a sup. You up?
Sup. Yeah, yes, exactly. Give him a sup, you up. Exactly. It's always great to talk with you.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Phenomenal. We will be back with another guest. There's a ton of people here, and we've got some CEOs that are doing amazing things in the Chicagoland area. Keep tuning in. Level up, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I told you earlier that we are at the Metropolitan, which is the 67th floor of the Willis Tower. Formerly the Sears Tower, but it's absolutely the Willis Tower right now, and we are having an amazing event. And the person that is facilitating this is Miss Maggie Waneke.
That's correct.
So tell us what it is exactly that you do other than putting on amazing events for businesses like Level Up.
We help people entertain their network both socially and professionally, whether that be from hosting private events, from your board meetings, to your wedding. And then we have co-working spaces and 2 different restaurants as well.
I love it. So just think about this for a second. Like if you were going to have an SKO for your sales team, like what an amazing place to have that SKO where looking out over the window is Lake Michigan and the skyline. There's restaurants, there's bars, there's tons of space in here. I mean, talk about putting on a show. And by the way, for what you're getting, the pricing is very, very competitive.
Well, and I think our members are normal people who like nice things. And it's just simply that.
Well, I like nice things. I'm not sure I'm normal.
That's okay.
Okay, cool.
We're not that normal.
Maggie, I just watched you on the microphone deliver an unbelievable reasoning as to why folks should come here. You were very gracious, but you commanded the room. Where did that come from?
So I'm actually used to be an actor in my former life.
I knew there was something.
Yes. So I graduated from the conservatory at Second City.
Nice.
IO, Annoyance. I had my own theater company for a while.
Let's go.
So that is my side hustle, is definitely in the comedy and acting world.
I love it. So we have something in common. I think I did I got to the second level of Second City. This was in 1999.
Yeah.
Like way back when. So I'm a little bit older than you. But that is
your
absolutely.
Skin, it's glowing.
Oh,
it's
thank
so
you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So I'm curious, like, how has that training been a benefit to you in your customer support, in your presentation skills, like, and also having to just fly with the yes and mentality.
Exactly. I would say if anybody is in hospitality, they understand it is always on your toes, but especially from a stance of being able to put yourself in other people's shoes and relatability.
Yeah.
I think during the pandemic, we lost a lot of connection and people lost a lot of those social skills. So groups like Level Up, the Metropolitan, really strengthen and hone those skills that I'd like to brag might be a huge, huge asset when AI comes into play.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the more technology comes out, the more we have to humanize.
Yeah.
And I always say this to companies that maybe manufacture or sell a commodity.
Yeah.
The more commoditized your business is, the more humanized your content needs to be. And I think that plays to what you're talking about. Like, in hospitality, you better be hospitable. You better be human.
Well, I always tell people too, when they do business, the people you do business are with the people you know, like, and trust. But the reality is you're going to your friends and family always first. How do you get in that inner circle?
Mm-hmm.
And when I go networking, I don't care about what you do. I know, don't say that out loud, but I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know what you're passionate about, because that's what lights you up from the inside out.
Okay, so let's not apologize for that, because the fact of the matter is, like, I want to do business with people, and the middle word of that is that I like. And by the way, I can't like you until I know you, and I definitely can't trust you unless I know you and like you.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to trust somebody you don't like.
Exactly.
So I think it is very important that is done eye to eye, transfer of energy, body language. Look at the smile. Right? So infectious. Right there, I can sum up the type of person you are. Super kind. By the way, kindness is the greatest marketing strategy you could possibly have. Gary Vee says that, and if he says it, it's probably right. So what is the hardest part about your role?
I think the hardest part is also the most exciting part. My day is never the same. One day the mayor's walking into the club and we're high security, hush hush.
Yeah.
The other day, I'm consoling someone who just had their heart broken.
Oh.
And then the other day, I was literally giving a tour and a business deal happened at the bar. So it's never the same, but it's always exciting. And like you said, you have to be on your toes and ready for anything.
Do you thrive in that? Because in management, we talk about you have to manage a system the same, but you have to manage each person different within the system. So do you thrive on that kind of ups and downs and all over the place, or would you rather it kind of was a little more linear?
I think it depends on the day.
Yeah, amen.
And the week, but most of the time when I have linear, I'm searching for more.
Yeah.
And it is true. Everybody needs something different. But I think as a product, from a sales perspective, but also as an individual, I can give people different things because every person is multifaceted and has so much components to themselves, just like any product has many uses.
Yeah.
And I think it's just finding the connection, finding the match, and the relatability. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get through this thing called life.
That's right. Maggie, is this your passion?
Yeah, I would
It is
say
your
so.
passion? Okay. So what's the next step for you? Because you're not going to be in this role long. You're going to move up. This is very temporary.
Well, thank
like
you.
you shine, lady.
Oh,
So you are going to be moving up. So what's the next role, and how long until you're running this place? And when I say this place, I mean the whole damn building.
I think I go into every day with what can I do for others and what can I learn. And I think you start with those things, and the moment I stop learning is the moment I stop being successful in my book, because there's always something to learn. And 2 years ago, this is something I'm proud of, I'll share. I noticed it's a simple compatibility of a lot of the people on our team speak Spanish as their primary language, and I made it a point. There's a long story of I just had a teacher who told me I've never learned Spanish. And,
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah, I started practicing with everybody on the team here, and slow and steady, I'm starting to get really good. So they have to watch when I come by.
Did you call up that teacher and you were like, "Hola, son of a.
No, but I will say, just being able to hold a conversation and talk to people and meeting them at their level in a different language is a beautiful thing.
Whole new level of connection, right?
And by no means am I some expert native Spanish speaker, but I think nobody expects
but
that
you're
from you.
but making the effort
it's
is
all about
endearing in
trying.
itself, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you try and anytime you travel, if you try and even just say hello and thank you, showing the effort that you care about someone else's like being and who they are and what makes them up.
Let that light shine.
Yeah.
Let that light shine. So where would we find you if you weren't here working? What's your favorite thing to do?
It depends. I really love going to the Green Mill Lounge.
Okay.
For
What's
a
at the
jazz
Green Mill?
night.
The jazz night?
If you've never been, it's like this jazz club up on the north side, and they do like swing night every Thursday, and it's like a full
All right, the
band.
performer's coming out.
But think Al Capone.
Okay.
He used to have a booth there.
Nice.
And it's a cash bar only, and the legend is the police would come in the front door and he would exit the side. And I think that is just like a blast from the past and something that's such a deep part of Chicago
Oh, it's history right there.
But I'm also a water person. I used to be a lifeguard, teach swimming. So sunrise, sunset, on the water, that is probably my dream.
If you decided to start your own business at some point,
Yeah.
what type of business would you start? What would be your dream business?
I had my own theater company for a while, but I lost it in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I think
It's
I would.
tough to be funny through a pandemic through
Yes.
Zoom.
But everybody needs it.
Yeah.
Everyone needs laughter, and I think I'd love to do something more with the arts and people and connection. The realistic thing is, I wouldn't want to do just a theater. I would want something that's in the front, whether that be like a bar or a coffee shop or some sort of component, because I think theaters are so hard to make sustainable
Absolutely.
and run, especially when you want to pay your actors and you want to create new work and new content. Getting the budget for producing is quite the struggle. But that's been something that you're not the first person to talk to me about this.
Yeah.
It's very serendipitous. It keeps coming up, and it's all the encouragement I need to start my wheels turning.
Here's the deal, though, and I think this is really important if anyone's listening out there to this. If you have a passion, it doesn't mean it's a business.
Yeah.
You have to figure out how to monetize it. So adults all the time will tell people, chase your dreams, chase your passion. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a foundation and a strategy and a plan that you can monetize it. Otherwise, you're going to fall out of love with your passion because it just took you down a crash course. So,
Well, and that's the hard part. Like when I started acting, when you have to start earning money off of your passion,
Yeah.
and it just takes some of that out of it, but finding it is great. You asked me about my dream role, and I didn't say it because I've forgotten about it for a minute.
okay.
It would be voiceover acting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you do voices?
I can.
Give me a couple.
I can do Stitch. So it's oh gosh.
Don't be nervous. Let it rip.
Ohana means family, which means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
My gosh. What is that from? I'm sorry.
It's Stitch, so it's from Lilo and Stitch. It's. I will say, I am nervous. You don't do voiceover
I'm
in front
50,
of
so I
people,
don't know.
so-
I don't know what it is that you just talked about, but I'm certain if you're watching that and you know what it is, put in the comments whether or not we did a really good imitation. I'm sure that it was very, very good.
It was decent.
It was decent. The throat clams up a little bit. You get nervous. Well, you're doing a fantastic job, and not only on this podcast right now, but you're doing a fantastic job of being the hostess with the mostest and making sure that everyone is well accommodated. And you're very hospitable, and you shine, and you smile, and you've got grace, and all these different things. You're going to go far. There's no doubt about it. Not to say that my viewpoint really matters much, but that's my read.
I think your viewpoint is amazing, and you're also being humble because the way you harness the crowd for the speeches is a talent that I, as a soft-spoken individual, struggle with. I'm like, is this thing on?
Let's go. Well, you did a great job. So leave us with two things. Number one, give us something inspirational that you think about, that you say to yourself, that you believe in, that's a pillar. And then you got to tell us how people could get a hold of you if they want to come use this amazing space for their next SKO, their award ceremony, whatever it might be, like a wedding. My gosh, this is a great space.
The possibilities are endless.
So inspire us and then tell us how to get a hold of you.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've had a kind of a rough week from my mental capacity.
Okay.
So this is really hyping me up. But something that's helped me this week is what is positive. Because no matter what's going wrong, if you can flip your mindset and flip the lens that you're looking at with the world, and you can see how much you have been lucky to be blessed with, then it'll change your whole day. And so anytime I feel like I am just in a rut or something's not working, I take a breath, I go outside, I look outside the windows because the views are so good, and I say, well, what am I happy, or what's positive, or what am I thankful for? And I ask someone else.
Yeah.
So I love hearing about what other good things that happen to other people.
Absolutely. You feed off of other people's energy, and then you feed that back. Sometimes you got to refill your tank.
Yeah.
And by the way, when things are really, really bad, you just got to keep your head on that. Really good things are born from really bad things.
Yeah.
So hopefully your week improves. How do we get a hold of you?
I'm on LinkedIn.
Let's go.
With Maggie Waneke, so definitely connect with me there.
You want to spell that last name?
It is Wanecke, and it's Waneke, like you want to connect with me.
That's right.
My email is also, do I do that?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let it rip. I mean, you want people to email you.
Absolutely.
They need to know your email.
Absolutely. So we'll do Margaret, Margaret, dot Waneke, Wanecke, at invited with a D, clubs with an S, and .com.
.com.
And then if you want to follow me on Instagram,
Let's
I'll
go.
do that.
A couple laughs.
MS, and then my last name, Wanecke. You're going to have that whole memorized.
Get a notepad
by
out,
now.
people.
And lastly, I'll even give you my number.
Whoa.
I know. It's kind of risky. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm happy. Just text me that you heard me from this podcast.
Text level up, and then she'll respond.
That's exactly. 574-360-7379.
That is Maggie Waneke. This is the Metropolitan. She is a shining light. You need to come here. This will change the game for you. What are we doing? Look out the window, the skyline, Lake Michigan. You're going to impress the heck out of your team. They're going to go, oh my gosh, our CEO, our boss, our leader went extra mile for us. We got to fight harder for him. Maggie's going to help you do that. We'll be back. Oh my Lord, are you hearing this? Listen to the background noise. This place filled up. And I just filled the seat with an absolute beauty, and that's the field she's in. We're talking to Mona Singh, and she is the founder of Skinversity. What a fabulous brand name.
Thank you.
So when did you start the business?
So I have been in the industry for 5 years now.
Okay.
And this is a business that's been on my mind for a few years. We've been working on it for the past 2 years. We're opening up next week. So I feel like between looking for a space and coming up with the concept and the build out, it's been about 2 years now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you're chasing your dreams. So we're an esthetician by trade?
So I'm an esthetician and I'm a permanent makeup artist, so I tattoo eyebrows and lips.
Oh my gosh. Well, luckily I don't need the eyebrows, but can you tattoo the top up here?
I
We might have
probably
to
can,
do something. Can you
actually.
give me like a nice flat top or something like that?
I probably can.
Maybe shade it in, I don't know. Anyways, it's not about me, it's about Mona. Okay, so it takes a lot of audacity to start a business. It takes a lot of guts. What gave you the audacity to think you could start your own company?
It's called delusion, my friend.
Amen. We're both delusional. Let's
Yes,
go.
we are.
I knew
Yes,
we'd
we
hit
are.
it off.
Yes, we are. But I was actually in the market looking for franchises, and something just didn't sit right with me. I looked at quite a few different franchises, and the whole idea of doing something the way somebody else wants me to do it just never sat right
Well,
with me.
it's almost like you're not your own business owner. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
we're running away from. Is like
Yes.
I got sick of people telling me how to do things.
Exactly.
So I get that vibe. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, and it's not easy because I haven't ran a business where I employ people, so it's been a big learning curve. But I'm learning, and I have a great team, and they're learning, they're teaching me, and we're kind of just growing together at the
All right.
moment.
Well, you teach us what you've learned, and maybe we'll learn something from what you teach.
Deal.
What have you learned about managing people, about motivating, inspiring people, and also people have to buy into your philosophy,
Yeah.
your brand identity,
Yeah.
your systems, controls, and procedures. So,
Yeah.
what have you learned along the way to get that down?
So I think the main thing, I've been an employee, right? And I've worked at different places, and I think that the main thing is I wish someone would have told me or been more relatable to experiences. And I think I just want to let my employees know, my team know that they can relate to me. I have had the same struggles, and I'm not a master at what I do. I'm also still learning, and we're learning together. And I think just creating an environment of them teaching me, I'm teaching them, and having like an open area
Dialogue.
where they can come tell me like, hey, this is not working, this is working, this product doesn't work, this works. Anything that they want, or hey, I think that this service is new, we don't have it, but I think we should bring it in. Let's do it. That's definitely
So
one thing.
you've put your ego at the door.
100%. They know I don't know everything, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with them knowing that.
And you're not supposed to know everything. You're supposed to know what you know to the best of your ability and to
Yeah.
continue to learn.
Yeah.
And when you learn, you bring people with you. You share that learning. So
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
that's lovely. But we're going to promote the hell out of your business
Thank
because
you.
I feel like when I look at you, I feel like you deserve to win.
I appreciate you.
I feel
Thank
like you deserve to win.
Thank you.
So what do you say? How about we support Mona Singh, Skinversity?
Mm-hmm.
How do people find you? How do they get a hold of you? And where are you located?
Yeah, so I'm located in Lincoln Park on Halston and Clybourne, right next to the Apple Store, New City Plaza. You can find me
Great
at,
area.
Yeah, thank you. You can find me at Skinversity Chicago on Instagram and skinversitychicago.com.
Okay, so rip off your 5 or 6 best services that you provide, because there's
Yeah.
layers to what you're providing.
Yeah,
You're kind of
quite a bit. So
Yeah.
our main thing is going to be our 45-minute custom facial. The facial is based on what your skin type is, what your needs are. So it's not like you walk in and you say, I want an anti-aging or I want a hyperpigmentation.
Is there
acne
one that can
facial.
make me taller?
I think you look good. I
Okay,
think you look
all
great.
right,
I think you
all
look
right,
great.
Fair enough. You must have cataracts. She's got bad eyes.
No, and then another good service, we do have the HydraFacial machine, which is pretty popular. And then permanent makeup, so I do eyebrows and a lip tattooing. We have a list of 10 enhancements that go with the facials. One of them, actually, I'm pretty proud to announce, not a lot of people have this on them. I actually don't think anybody has this on their menu, but we do have a deep beard cleanse that most facials do not have.
I don't know if I have a deep beard, but we'll see.
I think you do.
Yeah, here I do.
Yeah, especially with like a facial, like for men, especially like if they have a beard, you can't really go over the beard.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like wasting money because you come in there and then it's like, well, you're only gonna do the half of your face. So so I'm excited about that. And then other than that, we have an oxygen facial, some smaller brow and lash services. But yeah, quite a big menu, and I do all the services myself, so it's not somewhere, I'm not a place where it's like, oh, I bought this place and I'm hiring people that just do it. I do all the services. The services are curated a menu that I personally can do.
You better get in now, because that's not going to last long, because she's
Yes.
going to have multiple locations and she can only be in one place at a time, so she's going to get booked up fast.
I hope so.
So you better go see her now and become one of her prime clients,
I
so that
hope
she doesn't
so.
delegate you to the new girl that's, maybe not
There
doing,
you go.
right? Although I'm sure she's going to vet her
No,
employees and train them very
great.
well.
The
They're all
employees
great.
are amazing.
So you have an energy about you. You're glowing. You're absolutely popping
Thank
off the
you.
camera, and you tell a great story. You deliver a great message. give us something that's really inspirational to finish off. Like, what would be your message to the world if you were going to say some message to the world?
Yeah.
And let's pretend that many people watch this podcast. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
What do you got to say?
I will say that there's a lot of times that you're not going to believe in yourself, but know that you are stronger than you believe, you are more courageous than you believe, you're brighter than you believe, and you are the baddest motherfucker
Say
out
it.
there.
Let's go.
You're the baddest motherfucker out there.
All right, so be the baddest motherfucker out there and follow Level Up Social Club networking events on this YouTube page. If you're seeing a clip, go subscribe to the page. Immediately after that, go look up Skinversity. Send Mona a little bit of a DM at Instagram. Be nice. Be nice.
Please be nice.
Be nice. All right, so send a DM, book your appointment, and root for somebody. How about you root for Mona? Let's
Please
help
root
her
for
get
me.
this business going.
Thank
What
you.
a great concept. I really wish the best for you. I hope
Thank
that
you.
you do
Thank you so
splendid
much.
things. I think you're going to absolutely be brilliant. You're already brilliant,
Thank
but I think
you.
this business is going to take off.
Thank you. I
Just because
appreciate it.
I don't know how somebody wouldn't feel like you're infectious just sitting there. So.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, that's it right there. We're going to have another guest come on, and we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you we would be back, and we are here with the one and only Nicky the Greek, they call him. He is an absolute genius when it comes to financials, and he's in the IT industry at Empist, the best IT company in the land, and they are international. Nicky the Greek, how are you, sir?
It's so nice to be here, and yes, I happen to be the most dangerous man in the room because I combine finance with IT, and that's a deadly combination,
That is
baby.
a deadly combination. And by the way, amazingly dressed. The suit is on point. Maybe you can see it on camera. Maybe you can't, but we're shining. What's the thread count on this? My
Oh,
gosh.
it's Egyptian silk, baby.
Let's
that's only
go. All right, so what is the funnest part of your career?
Look, I've done everything, right? When I say I've done everything, nothing was given to me, right? Like most of us, like yourself. We all have to be able to be go-getters, go out and get it. So I've waited tables, I worked at UPS, and then I started realizing, okay, where does the money go? Finance. Well, I got to be in finance. So I did my best to go to school, study a finance degree here in Chicago, and then started getting to the banks and learn how the banking system works, which is very important. Many people go into finance and start doing some financial sales, but you got to be able to understand how the monetary system works, right? You got to be able to follow the money, how to get it, how to borrow it, what's the best time to borrow it, to do it, taxes, all that. So I spent about 20 years in the banking sector working for two of the world's largest banks. And then I just got offered a job. I couldn't say no with a good friend of mine who, as you guys all know, John Campos.
We're referring to John Campos, the CEO and founder of Empist, and also the host of the Tech 1-2 podcast that you need to subscribe to right now.
That's right, and you're doing a fantastic job
Thank
with
you,
that,
sir.
by the way. We're so
Thank
glad
you.
to be partnering with you. So if you need somebody to partner with, he's the man.
See how this works?
Exactly. You gotta always be promoting, and not just yourself. You gotta promoting the people nearest and dearest to you, and you gotta keep doing it consistently. You can't only do it once and expect results.
Okay, so Nick, you're one of the funnest CFOs that I've ever had a chance to interact with. You've always got a ton of energy. That is not traditionally the personality type of a CFO. So, like, where does that come from, and why are you so hyped up about your brand?
Look, even the people, first of all, I don't come from an accounting background. And I'm not going to say that accountants are boring, by the way, because I'm surrounded by a lot of accountants on a daily basis and people who just studied hardcore finance and economics. But I think what the opportunity cost, when you're looking at an opportunity cost, means it's an opportunity that I haven't yet realized. And it has to always be in your mind. What have I yet to accomplish? Professionally, from the company that I work for, what's a goal that we have set and we haven't been able to achieve it? And you got to think about it every single day. And you can't do that with a dry personality, guys, because at the end of the day, every decision everybody makes, yes, it's good to have the data. The data is comfort, but decisions are emotional.
Yes,
if
and
you
we
don't
are
have that-
emotional.
We are emotional. We're chemical beings, right?
Yeah.
It's all chemistry. It's all hormones
It's a
going up and down.
transfer of energy, like vibration. That's why they call it
100%.
vibes. It's vibrations, it's frequencies. We need to be here like this.
100%. And that's where the deal closes. And many of you, maybe you've noticed you had a pitch one day, you went in, you're completely dry. You just took the data, threw them in front of your prospect, and the prospect at the end of the day said, will have to think about it, right? Because you didn't create that motion of emotions, connection. You didn't connect on a personal level. I'm not saying to become the best friend, but again, always remember that the deal comes down to emotion. It's a yes or no. It's always emotion.
That means that you got the no, you didn't get the like.
Exactly.
And if you don't get the no and the like, you ain't getting the trust.
Exactly.
I'm telling you that right now. You have a team,
Yes.
right? That you work with. What are some of the pillars and some of the cultural things? Because you have a culture within the culture, right? The culture at Empis is very clearly defined. It's all over the walls. It's all over the messaging, the branding and the marketing there. You guys are all on point. You're always logoed out. But you have a team. You have your own team within the team.
That's right.
So when you're talking to your team, what are some of your values that you're presenting to them?
Look, you gotta stay true to your core values. You cannot cheat on a single one. So you have to be able to identify what makes me who I am and write it down. What are the principles, the true principles of character that I want to be known for? If somebody ever asks 5 years from now, who was Nick? What did he do? People are going to probably remember how you made them feel. And based on that, they're going to give an explanation of who Nick was. So here at Empis, we have our core values, as you said, written all over the wall. We interview through those core values. We even evaluate. We just had our evaluation cycle for 2025, closed down about a couple of weeks ago. And the majority of the evaluation was not on the technical stuff. Yes, we understand we want technical and production productivity, but we really judge people based on our set core values, and we got 8 of them. So any decision we ever make, how do you feel about this employee? We start with our core values. Is he accountable? Is he aligned? Is he a team player? Is he disciplined? Is he proactive? Et cetera, et cetera.
No opinions.
Guys,
You take the opinions out of it.
that's it. And if we have 8, and if an employee scores less than 6, well, we know something that's got to get fixed there, or one way or another, right? So you got to trust your principles and your core values and live through them.
What has rapidly changed in the last since COVID? I feel like the world has changed so much, but in the IT field, what has changed so significantly? I know AI is a play in there. Maybe you'll speak to that, but what have you really seen happen? Are you seeing more companies want to outsource to an MSP?
Yeah.
Are you seeing more companies want to keep it in-house with maybe just some support? Like, where are you seeing it?
Look, what we see is mostly in the SMB space. Look, enterprise-level companies have always gotten it. They're the ones who invented the word IT to begin with, right? But we've seen SMBs slowly, before COVID, slowly adopting similar structures and partnerships that, hey, you need to pay attention to your server. It's actually 20 years old, dude. What are you doing? It's good enough for what I need. You need to update your inventory system. Actually, the company that supports your inventory system went out of business 12 years ago. That's a huge risk, right? Well, no, it's good enough for what we have. COVID happened.
What is good enough?
Right? What's good enough, right? Is it good enough to not being able to serve?
Why not great? How about great?
Exactly. So what we've seen is IT structures that were only designed for enterprise-level businesses now coming down to the small business sector, the SMBs, and the middle market companies. So they all want the best cybersecurity because they understand the value, right, of why you have to be cybersecure. They all want to be on the cloud for the right reasons. For some of them, that makes sense, of course. They all want the best technology because they realize when their employees don't have the best technology in their hands, when in the morning you can't turn that laptop screen up and it's ready to go, that's productivity loss. You know why? People started paying closer attention to their profit and loss statement.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just a lifestyle business, now business owners during COVID, they did a 360 or 180, I'm sorry, 360 is self-defeating. So a 180, and they said, hold on, can I do the business that I have? Because they couldn't find people to work for them.
When things get tight, you take a deeper look.
Exactly.
Because you got to find a way to make it work.
You couldn't find employees, if you remember, the first few months.
Nobody wanted to work. Why would
they?
You could get paid to sit at home.
And many people did. So they started paying attention to their income statement, and they learned to drive that, hey, technology is such a key thing for my profitability that if I don't have the right technology, I will never be that profitable.
So Empis has a brand promise that they are going to bring the enterprise level of service to the SMB. Why shouldn't everyone in the world have the elite IT? And by the way, if you look at more and more boardroom tables, the CTO, the CIO, they got a seat at that table now.
course.
And for a long time, it was you just had the IT guy. Remember the company computer guy? Like, now they're part of the major core of decision making, because if you got your tech down and you could move that to the side and feel confident that you've got it down internally, but you also have a team that's looking over it with you and for you, then you can start focusing on the big picture stuff, like building value in your company, like the brand, like the marketing, like the sales, that funnel into the IT.
It's so true. Look, for a fraction of an employee and a half, you can bring the productivity of about 6 people. So think about that. For the cost of an employee and a half, sometimes less than one full-time employee, you can bring the expertise, the guarantees, the technology, the training, the knowledge, the continuous knowledge gain. Imagine if you have one employee that does all your IT. When are they going to go to a conference to get more knowledge for you? When are they going to have time to research something online to bring more new things into your business? When are they going to be able to do both a network update and a server upgrade? When are they going to be able to finish the expansion of your access points into your warehouse and do all that, right? They just cannot. But you still pay them an average $75,000 to $95,000 a year. Oof. For a fraction of that, you can bring everything under one roof by partnering with a company like Empis, for example.
And you'll have 10 people on your team.
And you have 100 people in your team,
exactly.
right? We're a 100-people firm, right? And we have your back. And we're always out to get the latest technology, the latest news of what's changing, so then we can come to that table that you mentioned that the CTO and everybody sits in the CEO and say, this is where the future is going.
I was told today that you guys have invested millions of dollars into your tech stack in order to help people with their tech stack and to make sure that their technology is good. So you guys are cutting edge, you're out front, you're willing to invest, you're willing to spend the big money to create a better service for your customers, and it's showing.
It's showing, and you can't stop. We're only scratching the surface of the new era.
You can't stop.
We are in the most exciting point in human history for the last 1,000 years. Some people say it's an industrial revolution. No, you can't even name this revolution until it happens. If it's a technology revolution or industrial, you can't even name it because we haven't even started getting into it. We're just warming up.
Yeah.
Guys, it's so exciting. Outside of AI technology, the amount of knowledge now that's been shared with the world, the access to it, to be able now be a small business, mom and pop store of like 5 employees, let's say a small manufacturing firm, and you have access to the whole world. What do you want to do business? You're not anymore restricted by your geography. You can do business anywhere in the world.
There's no more arguments to realize that, because we could get an answer immediately. It used to be when we were younger, you'd be like, well, so-and-so had 50 goals last year. And be like, no, he had 60.
Yeah.
And then it would take you 2 weeks to figure out whether it was 50 or 60. Now we know that in a second.
Google is putting speculation out of business.
It's put a lot of arguments on a business.
Exactly.
Like we're going to get an answer immediately. But you're not a CFO, Nick. I will tell you that right now. You're a brand champion. You are absolutely a brand champion. You could sell Empis. You could do it all. I mean, just the way that you just delivered that, most CFOs can't deliver the brand message the way that you just did. It really is outstanding.
Look, it's all testament to the great effort of our founder and CEO, John Campus. He said, listen, guys, I don't need you just to be the one man for the one job. I need you to be a Swiss Army knife. Learn the company, embed the company. Go spend some time with the technical team. Go and spend some time with the accounting team. Go and spend some time with the back office. Maybe a light bulb will go up and you're going to say, why are we doing it this way? Because I have an experience from a previous employer or something that I'm doing in my department that you could adapt in your department, and we are becoming more efficient, saving the time, the client, the company money and time. So we have all embraced this, and if you don't embrace it, you're going to find the hard way that either you need to embrace it or you need to be out. That we need to be multifaceted and not just stick to one thing that we have been hired to do.
The company is Empis. That is EMPIST. It's www.empist.com. That is Nick. How do they get a hold of you should they want to partner with you, or maybe they just need to talk to you for a couple ideas?
Look, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can befriend me there, Nick Stavropoulos. Also, you can go to our website, empist.com. We're everywhere in social media. We are in Instagram and TikTok, and as I mentioned, LinkedIn. You can also find me on nas@empist.com. That's my direct email. Don't shoot me. If you're a vendor, don't shoot me too hard on that. But guys, you can find, we list every single employee, by the way, on our website. We're not afraid of nobody.
No.
We have 99 souls listed on our website with their name and what they do. I don't care if a recruiter's going after them. They're not going anywhere. They're staying with us because we take care of them.
And I can attest to that as somebody who doesn't work at the company, but when you walk into Empist, you know you're at Empist. I'll tell you that right now. You know by culture, and by the way, they are swagged out. They are all wearing, and by the way, you don't, as an employee, it's not mandatory that they wear the logo. You don't wear the logo of your company if your company is not doing fantastic work. Maybe a few people do, but not every person. But every person there is repping the brand in some way. It really is a testament to the way that you guys are leading the organization.
But look, man, we couldn't have found a better partner also to help us go to the next stage of our journey here. Thank you for everything that you've done for us, and it's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. That is Nick. I am John. We will be back with another guest shortly. I mean, my gosh, if you're not buzzing right now, you better pinch yourself. Check out Empist.
Let's go.
Thanks,
John.
Nick. Cheers. All right, we are back. This is going to be our final guest. That is right. We are going to wrap up here from the Metropolitan. This is the Level Up Social Club networking events. If you're not here, what are you doing? Thank you for watching. But I'm sitting here with somebody who's all about the water, baby. We're here with Luis Vecchio.
Yeah,
Let's go.
it is.
You got to let me finish. I remembered. I was just throwing a little enunciation into that. Luis Vecchio. What's the name of the company?
It's called La Lancha.
La Lancha. Where did you come up with that name?
It means boat in Spanish.
Okay, well, see, I thought it was going to be like super original, but it's just a different language.
Everybody's boat company on the lakes are like Lakeshore Charters or Prestige, Pinnacle, Top Dog, Fresh Water. It's all the same shit. So I was like, I'm going to do this, and no one's going to forget La Lancha. I mean, maybe. Everyone remembers Lululemon, so.
For sure. Are you living your dream right now?
Kind of. If I have like 10 more boats, that'll be the dream.
Okay. And so if I chartered a boat with you, like what are we talking about experience-wise?
All right, so there's two different ways you can charter, right? So there's laws. The Coast Guard has, the coasties have opinions.
Those damn coasties.
Right, they're in everything. So if you charter with me as your captain, I can take you guys out on a different boat, but I cannot take you guys on my boat.
Got it.
So if you guys want, we got a beautiful old boat. I got a bunch of great captains, but my boat is like, it's old, but it's like cool old. Right?
Yeah.
It's in like good shape. So like that's the experience you're gonna get. You're gonna come out, it's gonna feel like the Amalfi Coast.
Like kind of like vintage, like
Yeah.
like I picture like really rich wood with a lot of lacquer.
For sure. Some of that wood got replaced with plastic, but don't tell anybody.
Well, it's 2026. I mean,
it's
let's
called
face it.
plastique.
Plastique.
But we got like Polaroid cameras too, so if you come on out, you get like the vibe. You get those like Polaroid photos that like look the vibe.
All right, freak me out. Craziest story.
I mean, we saw some lady get her foot cut off on the.
Whoa!
It was only half the foot.
Only half the
It was
foot.
only
Tell
half the
her
foot.
that.
It was only half the foot. But like, I also saw a boat sink last year. It was the playpen.
On Lake Michigan?
Yeah, the playpen. If you guys go out in the water, drink, please hydrate, and also be safe.
Be safe. Like,
But
seriously.
So you go out on the playpen, people have a good time, they rent boats, they just go do whatever, they just go live their best lives. And like, little boats can sink if you have too many people on it. You get a little bit of water coming in over the back,
Let's
and
be smart about it.
It just goes, and it's not stopping. Once it's going
No,
down,
once
it's not stopping.
once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Luis, tell me what you visualize for this business. You said 10 boats. What does that look like?
All right, so 10 boats, I got that. The goal has always been to own a marina, right? That's the goal. I want to own a marina.
We're talking
like,
about restaurant, bar, docking.
Yeah.
Like,
hold court, be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Luis, he owns the marina,
Let's
talking
go.
to everybody coming and going. And I figured I don't have enough money to buy a marina. But if I own a couple of houses and a couple of boats, the Small Business Bureau is going to be like, this guy could definitely own a marina. So I got a house, did that, got another one, and now it's like, all right, I got to do the boat stuff. So I bought my first boat, and now the bank's going to buy me a second boat. And hopefully we can put them all on the same dock, but the city's got rules. And then we'll just keep copy pasting, and then the more boats we have, the more money we can make, and the more people we can help get on the water.
So you have, in the Chicagoland area, you clearly have a very seasonal business.
It's so seasonal.
So I would imagine you've got a 6-month stretch where it's like heavy demand, and then it gets a little bit difficult. How do you manage that seasonality as a business owner?
Credit cards, hopes, and dreams. It's a little bit of caffeine. It is aggressive. So it's when you're doing the boat stuff, you get like, it's a very like there's a lot of money. Like, people are like, oh my God, it's so expensive to go on charter. And people are like, oh my God, it's like, charters are $200, $300, $400 an hour. And then you have to pay a captain $100, $125 an hour on top of that. People are like, it's really expensive. But there's all of the off-season costs. There's all of the work that you have to cover. So it's still a profitable business, but it's not like they're not making as much money. So you have to really think far ahead. You'll be like, oh my God, this big nut of money that's in my bank account, I can't do anything dumb with it because I have to pay storage in the winter.
100. The discipline that you have to have.
So this is just to exist, not insurance, just to like be in a harbor or be in the winter storage. It costs about $9,000. Like winter storage and summer storage, it's not cheap, which, if you have a boat, you should have the disposable income. I couldn't afford a boat if you guys were renting it, by the way. But yeah, and then charter insurance is insanely expensive too.
Yeah. So Luis, how is business?
So I was a captain up until this point. This is my first year owning a charter boat.
So we need to support this gentleman because he's chasing his dream, he's living his dream, but he's still chasing the dream as well. So what is the anticipation for this summer then? Like, this has got to go big time.
Yeah, so it's thankfully there's a lot of avenues you can get leads at, right? There's a bunch of places. Boat Setter, Not My Boat, or Don't Go Get My Boat. Sorry.
Boat Tinder.
Yeah, but literally just that. So they're all, you Google it, all that. Follow me on Instagram. That's where you get the best deals, though. But I know that I'll get leads. I want to make sure that I get good, respectful leads, right? And I want to make sure that people come back, right?
Yeah. So you're trying to create the best brand experience for them.
It sounds like super like, oh no, I know business. I want to make recurring customers, but like, I want people that like want to be on our boats, that want to be like a part of us. Oh my God, look what you just did to that boat. Like, oh my God, you did this thing. They keep coming back. They're part of our family. They're part of like the growing circus.
So that's the branding part, right? The marketing part is the invitation onto the boat. The branding part is the experience they have on the boat.
That's the goal.
The branding part is what brings them back. So when they're on the boat, what are a couple of the keys that you really try to make certain that they experience every single time so that if I go back a second time, I could go, that was just as good as the first time. It felt the same way. I got this experience. Like, what are some of those things that you're pushing out?
Again, there's two separate games going on. There's me as a captain and the boat. And I want people to know that if they come out on my boat or with me as a captain, like the captains that run my boat, they're going to keep you safe, right?
I mean, that is kind of like the number one factor.
I know.
We're not built for water.
Yeah, and you guys are out there having a good time, and like a lot of captains will be like, yeah, shots, all this stuff. And I'm all about that, but like we want to be safe but not stuffy, right? Like, come on out. We're here for your safety. We're gonna get you there. We just happen to drive the boat, and I want people to be like, oh my God, we felt good. We felt safe. The boat was old, but it wasn't like rickety. They knew what they were doing. They were our guide. They were our host. They took care of us while we were out there, and we like felt better coming off. Like, at no point in time was I worried about anything going wrong because I knew that these guys that were driving this boat were gonna take care of us. They guided us through this. That's the idea. I want you to be like happy, safe, and never be like, oh my God, we have this guy who's driving the boat who's a nutcase.
Yeah, I probably don't want that. So where would we find you if you weren't on the boat, if you weren't on the water? What would we find you doing?
I mean, in the winter right now, working on the boat. I saved up a lot of money being a captain this year, but not enough to pay someone else to fix it. So I have to learn how to fix it. My lovely girlfriend was helping me wire the speakers on the boat the other day, which is great. She's got small arms, it helps.
There you go.
But that's like, my life is like pretty surrounded by the boat right now.
Yeah.
I do have a day job, which isn't as cool, so I have to do that all the time, but...
Well, that's why you're doing this. You're doing this so that you can graduate yourself out of the day job, control your own destiny, and create great experiences for people on Lake Michigan. And I think it's a brilliant thing, and I think you should keep going for it. And
I know,
it's going to be successful because you have the energy, you have the horsepower in your personality that it's going to work.
I genuinely love to hear that, because that's like, every once in a while you get like,
don't get imposter syndrome, dude.
It's not imposter syndrome, it's like stress.
Man. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I have to go.
Yeah.
I had to fix the fire suppression system on the boat, and they gave me some quotes, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds complicated.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. So it gets a little stressful sometimes, but we got this. Radical optimism. Like, it's going to work because that's the only option.
Everyone should use a little bit of radical optimism. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Luis. My name is John Morris. If you've made it this far into the podcast, I find you to be one of my favorite people, and I'm very grateful and very thankful. We hope that you come back for more. Please subscribe to the channel, and more so, the next Level Up networking event, we would love to see you here in person. Why don't you grab a seat next to me and get on the mic? Be a sponsor. Get involved. Business happens from this event. Partnerships happen from this event. New hires, new careers happen from this event, and dreams come true from this event. Thank you so much for tuning in. Signing off from the Metropolitan in the Willis Towers. This is John Morris. We out.